Brothers and sisters of our GSFC family, colleagues and friends, Namaskar. You would be eager to know the impact on our company, Gujarat State Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited, due to the corona pandemic which is affecting us all. What is the impact of this pandemic on the business and operations of the company? I intend today, through this medium, to place the facts before you and to brief you on this important subject. We are all aware that corona COVID-19 has become a global pandemic. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji and the decisions taken by the central government and all state governments, the positive effect is being visible now in that although India has a very large population, the effect of the pandemic on India is not so serious as it is in most other countries that are far more developed than us. We can say that by and large the pandemic has not spread so much in India and has been relatively under control. However, a few cases are quite natural in this worldwide phenomena, and India has not been immune to it. It is but natural that there would be economic impact of this pandemic in the short term and medium term at least. For example, there would be issues of employment of unorganized workforce, issues of employment of the migratory workforce, the availability of essential commodities to all, and so on. One question that is uppermost in our minds is, when will the situation return to normal? And also, what will be the economic and commercial impact of this global disaster? These are very important questions arising in all our minds, and I intend to give you a firm and correct answer insofar as your company, the Gujarat State Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited, is concerned. Economists, industrialists and other people associated with trade and commerce and government leaders are very worried about it and are making necessary plans to ensure that the economic impact of this pandemic is limited to the extent possible. What action should be taken after the situation normalizes is a very important issue. I am glad to tell you that the state government, the Gujarat government, formed a committee under the chairmanship of Chief Principal Secretary to Chief Minister to advise, to prepare a report on the actions that are recommended post-pandemic, once the situation normalizes. I had the honor of being a member of this committee. After intense deliberations, the committee submitted its report to the Gujarat government, which has been sent by the Gujarat government to the central government also, and it is among active consideration with all other inputs received by the Government of India. The committee, while making its suggestions, went beyond what relief measures have already been announced by the Government of India and by the Reserve Bank of India. The main issue that all reports are highlighting is that once the situation returns to normal, the GDP definitely, we all know, depends on the purchasing power and how much people are willing to spend on different commodities. Post-pandemic, the purchasing preferences of the people would be divided in two categories. One, the essential commodities which they need for their day-to-day living, and second, the not so essential commodities. The essential commodities, there would be no impact on the purchases, but in the non-essential commodities sector, definitely people would defer their purchases in the short term and would reduce their purchases in the medium term. GSFC is in the business mainly of manufacturing fertilizers. Fertilizers is an essential commodity. Before and during the season, whether it is Kharif, Rabi or any other, before the agricultural season and during it, farmers have to purchase the required quantity of fertilizers. Fortunately, the meteorological department has forecast that the monsoon this year would be normal. In a normal monsoon year, the purchase of fertilizers is also normal or it is above normal. And we expect the same to be so in India in Kharif 2020. So, insofar as the demand of fertilizer in the country is concerned, I really do not feel we should worry at all. All fertilizer companies have an assured market, and that is one thing we must keep in mind in the post-pandemic situation. Insofar as GSFC is concerned, we have adequate stock of ammonium phosphate sulfate, ammonium sulfate, and most of the NPK grade of fertilizers that we normally produce. During the lockdown also, our Sikka unit in Jamnagar district was operating normally, producing DAP. During the lockdown period, from Sikka we have dispatched about 23,000 metric tons of DAP to various dealers of GSFC located throughout Gujarat. I am happy to inform you that we will commence production of NPK 12 and NPK 10 also from Sikka in the normal course. At the start of the announcement of the lockdown, in consonance with the policy of the central government and state government, GSFC had shut down its Baroda unit. Thereafter, fertilizers, the production and distribution thereof was exempted from the lockdown measures, it being an essential commodity. Keeping that in mind and also to ensure that we fulfill our responsibility of making fertilizers available to the farmers before the Kharif season, we have started the Baroda unit in right earnest. On 10th April, we started the activity for the commencement of the ammonia plant, and it commenced within 3-4 days, which is the normal time taken for the ammonia plant to commence. And once ammonia plant started, we have gone into production of urea, ammonium phosphate sulfate, ammonium sulfate, sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid, water soluble fertilizers, etc. So, as on date, the company in both its Baroda plants and Sikka plant is producing fertilizers absolutely as it was doing earlier. The issue comes on the subject of producing industrial products. You would be aware that almost 25% of the total turnover of GSFC is accounted for by industrial products. Here we make mainly intermediate products in the industrial products that we manufacture. The situation is that the industrial units who purchase our industrial products are either they have not commenced operation so far, or they have enough stock of the industrial products that we manufacture, and hence we are not able to sell our entire production of industrial products that we manufacture. As a result of which, we have commenced our plants manufacturing the industrial products in stages. Some have been commenced full-fledged, others are either in production partially, or we are yet to commence a few of the plants. For example, we have started our plants manufacturing caprolactam 2, second plant, nylon 6 plant, HX crystal plant, and MEK oxime. All these plants have commenced. Whereas Capro 1, the first plant of caprolactam, and the melamine plants, all three, we have decided to keep it closed for the time being till the market becomes better in respect of these products. I would give you a brief on the financial position of the company. I am happy to tell you the financial position has been good always, and it is good even today. We are a government promoted company and over 5 decades old company. So the management all these years and all these decades has been fairly conservative in its financial management, and that is coming to our benefit today. Financially, the banks have good weight on us, good confidence on us. To give you one example, just about 10 days ago, the company needed to borrow some money from the banks because our loans were falling due, and we could take two loans, two tranches of a total of 400 crore rupees from two banks for short-term working capital requirement at an interest rate of 5.90% per annum. This is, friends, a very, very competitive rate of interest, and it shows the confidence that the banks have on our company. During the current financial year 2020-21, we have planned for capital investment of over rupees 1000 crore for new projects, and we are committed, we are determined to see that it is on track. I can assure you, not a single project we would go on the back foot in implementing, not a single project, and we would keep the schedule of implementation of this good amount of investment that we have planned for the financial year 2020-21. Fertilizer is a subsidized commodity. There is very large subsidy given on the sale of fertilizers by the central government to benefit the end user, that is the farmer. All fertilizer companies in the country, including GSFC, have to get substantial amount of subsidy money from the government of India. It is due for quite some time. We have represented on this issue to the Government of India, Department of Fertilizers directly and through the Fertilizer Association of India. We have also represented on various other issues pertaining to the fertilizer industry. For example, the distance of primary transportation that is allowed by the government and various other issues. I am very happy to inform you that our requests have been considered very positively by the Government of India, and just yesterday the Department of Fertilizers has announced release of subsidy of 23,000 crore to all the fertilizer companies of the country, being the installment for April-May. This would enable our company also to recover a substantial portion of the fertilizer subsidy that is due to us from the Government of India. And we are confident that during these difficult times, Government of India would be proactive in conceding some of the other demands that have been made by the Fertilizer Association of India on behalf of the fertilizer manufacturing companies. Brothers and sisters, you would all have seen and heard the address to the nation by Honorable Prime Minister on 14th April. Because our company and offices and all production plants have commenced operations, we have to implement the requests and suggestions of Honorable Prime Minister furthermore. I would reiterate what Honorable Prime Minister has advised the entire nation, that people meeting each other or working with each other should maintain a safe distance, should wear masks, should hand wash properly, and follow all other precautionary measures that are prescribed, whether it is social distancing or any other. Honorable Prime Minister has requested us all for that, and we must adhere to these very much required measures in our day-to-day life till this unfortunate pandemic goes away. As far as our company is concerned, there are a few spots where gathering of people is higher, is greater than other places. For example, in the canteen and cafeteria, at the factory gate, at the spots for punching of the attendance cards, and so on. It is very necessary that adequate social distancing, hand wash, masks, etc. are maintained by all the employees, all the officers, all the staff at these points, and I request you all to do the same. When the plants and offices of the company were closed for almost 3 weeks of the lockdown, even then the management decided that we will pay full salary to all our workers, all our staff, and all our employees, whether they are permanent employees, whether they are contractual employees paid on time rate or piece rate, whether they are apprentices or any other kind of employees. We have decided they would be paid full salary. I am happy to tell you that the March salary which was paid on 1st April, we have with that salary also paid the arrears of the wage revision that was settled with the employees a few months ago. All the employees are very happy about it, and the unions have thanked us and complimented us for this gesture of the management. This also goes to show that the company is in sound financial health in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic affecting us all. The business, the commercial situation of the company, its production is all under control. Marketing, again, as I said, there is no issue in so far as fertilizer marketing is concerned. Even today, our dispatches are going on through road and rail. And our company sends small quantity of dispatches through the sea route also. All the plants of the company have been recommissioned on 15th April, and hence I appeal to all the employees to resume duty at the earliest. I am very happy to tell you that more than 95% of the employees have commenced their attendance, they are coming to the company and have started operations. I would like to compliment some of the departments of the company that have played a very important role in sanitizing and other related activities during the lockdown and continue to do so. For example, our fire department, safety department, research and development department, the operations department, which is a very, very major department in the factory, security and others have worked tirelessly, many times round the clock, to ensure that all the essentials for the employees such as hand wash, sanitizers, masks, disinfectant, etc. are available throughout and wherever required. In the factory area, within the battery area and the township, we are spraying hypochlorite spray through our fire tenders and ensuring that the precincts and premises are safe from any adversity that may occur during these times. The company is thus taking care of your health, your security and safety and will continue to do so. I would request all employees to keep their identity cards with them when they come to work and they go back to their homes, because many of our employees are living in the city or in the nearby villages and towns around Baroda. If there is any difficulty faced by any single employee in traveling or commuting to and fro his workplace, we will definitely take up those individual issues with the relevant authorities and see that they are taken care of. But I assure you, so far such issues have been very, very minimal. In the unbelievable circumstances that have arisen due to this global pandemic, it is my privilege, proud privilege, to compliment that all our employees, officers, staff, whether temporary, permanent, whether contractual or permanent, have stood like a rock to tackle the situation and have played a very positive role in being with the management in this difficult hour. I thank all the employees for their contribution in this historic endeavor in maintaining not just the peace and health, but the production and dispatches and other activities also during these difficult times. The departments that have played a special stellar role definitely deserve a special mention, and I thank them for it. I would like to also compliment all the employees of the Sikka unit who have continued the production of DAP during the lockdown also, because we were exempt being an essential commodity, who have continued the production and dispatches both by road and rail. I would also like to make a special mention of the staff and officers manning the Sikka shore terminal, where the ships arrive for handling the imports and the vessels in an exemplary manner and in complete safety during these difficult times. One or two vessels did arrive carrying ammonia and other products, and they were handled, taken care of very well. I compliment the entire Sikka team for this. The Baroda team has also worked tirelessly. Our operations group has ensured that all the plants were shut down very smoothly when it was required to shut them down, and all the plants have restarted with equal smoothness when the management decided to restart. there have been no difficulty in dispatches, storage, safety, security, or on any other issue. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to inform you that the GSFC family, the employees of GSFC of all ranks, have come forward to contribute their might in any calamity of this nature at every time in the past. And they have done this on this unfortunate occasion also. This calamity that struck us was a shocker. It was unprecedented and I would say unbelievable. Nothing of this sort was ever imagined by policymakers, by governments throughout the world. Our employees have contributed one day's salary to the Gujarat Chief Minister's Relief Fund as their token contribution to the efforts being made by the government to tackle the pandemic. In addition, the GSFC company has contributed rupees 10 crore to the Gujarat Chief Minister's Relief Fund. We have taken other measures in kind also. For example, our Sikka unit has arranged food and other rations and requirements for migrant labor that was working in other companies because they were stranded and they could not leave the Sikka and nearby places. So the unit came forward, and although the employees and workers were not of GSFC, as a part of the humanitarian effort, Sikka unit took care of their board and their welfare. In addition, the Baroda unit has given 25,000 liters of hypochlorite disinfectant to the district administration for spraying in the required localities and areas. We have also given 10,000 masks and other requirements. Arrangements were made to provide nylon 6, textile grade nylon 6, which we do not produce. We made arrangements through local manufacturing companies to provide them to Atira, the Ahmedabad Textile Industries and Research Association, for their manufacturing material for masks and other requirements. Friends, the pandemic unfortunately is not yet over. Hence, we all need to keep utmost vigil, utmost care, and take maximum precautions. GSFC company stands by you all. GSFC company is with you all, with its employees who are our backbone, but also with every member of the society. We will ensure that we continue to contribute our might to the government and to the nation to the best of our capability and in rightful measure. Jai Hind.